country, and Angelo Rini, ranked 24th in the nation for the Hoosiers. Both these guys off to a really good start. And Tim, these guys know each other very well. This rivalry goes way back.
Yeah, we talked to Lucas's dad, Jeff, and he says they go back to kids wrestling. When they were in grade school, they wrestled each other in high school. And this is going to be a great match. And we're talking about Lucas Byrd, you know, coming off a red shirt. And this guy is such a competitor. I believe he's better than he's ever been before. And so Rini having a great start here should be really interesting.
I just always love Lucas Byrd's pace. You know, pace is more important than score when you're wrestling Lucas Byrd. If you can keep with him there, it's just, you might be able to catch him on his back eventually, but sometimes, but his pace is just huge.
We talked coming in about the Mount Rushmore of Big Ten, just pure, gritty, tough guys. On my Mount Rushmore, Carter Starace, Lucas Byrd, Jesse Mendez, and Sammy Sasso, a couple of Buckeyes. Lucas Byrd, this guy is, you said it, Jim, constant pace. He's just physical, and he doesn't give you anything easy.
He's always looking to improve. Right there, drops back in on that shot. A lot of guys would have said, okay, I'll just kind of square up, and he just goes right back in on the shot.
The key here is getting up to your feet and beating that shin whizzer. Good position by Byrd. He's up to his feet. Now he has some options.
Yeah, he's got to work that. See how he's got his left hand on top of that? And that's how it broke off really easily right there. You don't want to put that. Get a chance to look at that, young guys, okay? Outside arm, outside palm down right there. Basically, Rini was able to go ahead, pluck that off really easily right there because the palm was up. So, but again, if you got a high attack rate like Byrd and wrestling a high pace, Timmy doesn't want to get slowed down by that shin whizzer, and that's part of Rini's strategy.
Wrestle center.
Lucas Byrd, first place at the Journeyman Classic, two-time All-American. Missed last season due to injury. Wrestled at the NWCA All-Star Classic inside Rhett Cawley, beating Nasir Bailey of Little Rock 1-0. Was able to escape in the second period.
Stones red, edge.
But he has been so consistent in an Illinois singlet. He's the face of this program.
Get out of the fingers.
Certainly is. I mean, again, if you
now improve.
If you're Coach Poeta, you know Poeta, going back to his career, very slick wrestler. Wrestled at a high pace, got a lot of attacks off. Maybe not as physical as Byrd was, but he's got to love everything he sees, and he wants that to go ahead and kind of get a guy like that that all of a sudden inspires other guys to pick up their pace.
He's so frustrating to wrestle. He's so frustrating to wrestle. And you can see right now, Rini just not having any kind of space at all. Byrd keeps great position.
Now
got strong back muscles.
No score 2 minutes into this first period. Byrd, two-time All-American. He was 5th in 2021 and 2022. In 2023, won 30 matches. He was 3rd at the Big Tens. Went to the NCAAs as a 10 seed and lost to Dayton Fix in the quarterfinals and then Jesse Mendez in the blood round. But this guy, TJ, capable of standing atop the podium this March in Philadelphia.
Well, he's already been on the podium a couple of times, and the time a couple of years ago that he wasn't, he has no anything. He has nothing but confidence that he's going to be back on the podium. This guy could get beat anytime, and he doesn't think he got beat. I mean, you know, he's always going to get after it.
But you know, guys, it's time to mention Rini here. He's done a really good job in this period. Okay.
Yeah.
And why is that? You sit there and go, well, he's controlled those ties. He's come inside of Byrd's collar ties, and he's really done a great job of controlling Byrd from the elbow down. Grabbed a lot of wrist. He's clinging.
No score after the first 3 minutes. Angel Escobedo, what a job he has done as head coach there in Bloomington in his 7th season. One of the all-time greats as a student athlete at Indiana, national champion, 3-time Big Ten champion.
Indiana's only 4-time All-American.
And what a great guy, Tim, building a culture. This is the perfect job for Angel Escobedo.
Yeah, coming back home, Indiana native, and then, of course, alum. And he did most of his work as a national champion and All-American with a shoulder that was injured all the time. He just gutted through it.
Byrd starting period on bottom. Rini doing a nice job in the first 20 seconds.
Control. Green's on the leg first. There's no count. Red's control.
Good job by Byrd here trying to go
Still
ahead.
red.
He's still in the down position right here. The best he can get is probably a reversal, but
One
from this
escape,
position
neutral.
right here, gets the escape.
Tim, you'll be leaving this booth here pretty soon. You are going to be on the Indiana bench during our match at 141 pounds, or
Wrestle
Illinois
center.
bench rather. And then, Jim, you'll be going to Indiana's bench at 184. Looking forward to that coverage. Byrd leading it 1-0. Has that whip over position. Headlock. And he will
Out,
make
that's
you
red.
feel that
Backing.
headlock. That is one of his
Stall.
signature holds,
One green.
and it is
Neutral.
tight. You do not want to be there if you're Angelo Rini.
Set.
Rini was a national qualifier in 2023. He was third at the EIWAs. He came from Columbia. His first season in Bloomington.
Following Fangaro from last year, who came from Columbia for a senior year or an extra year with Escobedo, and so
Offense, man.
good
Let's work.
experience. Former teammate decides to get that extra year with Indiana.
Angelo was off to a really solid start last season, and he was injured. Missed the rest of the season. As I said, now he's in Bloomington wearing that Hoosier singlet.
Tell you what, Rini has done a nice job of just holding position there. They got a stall call against him in that period right there at the edge of the mat.
Red bottom.
Kind of cumulative thing that's worked up there, but not many guys he's kept himself in range. Not many guys do this with Lucas
Set and
Byrd.
hold for me. On green.
He's
Hold.
been pretty impressive.
And this is the time to do it, what he's doing right here. Getting down, he wants to get out, but this is easier said than done because Byrd's a monster on top, and this is the time of year. And for Rini to test, this is a big test for him right here.
See Lucas Byrd with his foot. It had
Controls
been
green.
placed on the left foot of Rini.
Improve on this green.
This is where Byrd is really good, as I mentioned. He just doesn't give you anything. Good, solid mat return. Tight waist.
Went one direction and came back the other. Rini stopped that first one, and now he's got the inside wrist.
That is the signature of Byrd. I mean, he shortens the match, and he just takes so much energy out of his opponent.
And you know where he gets a good bulk of his toughness? His girlfriend, Ellie. She was a volleyball player at Illinois. When he wrestled Nasir Bailey and beat him 1-0, Ellie
Out.
texted him and said, I don't know a whole lot about wrestling, but it's about scoring points, and you need to score some more points.
That's kind of rough. You're getting spiked by your girlfriend.
And I was talking to Lucas today. He said that Ellie's starting a new job today,
set.
so congratulations to
Cover, hold
her.
green. Hold from here.
They're on TikTok together. They got a ton of followers.
Well, just a shout out to the whole game of volleyball. What a change of rules when they went score every time that there was, the ball was in the air. Boy, is that fun to watch. Talk about scoring.
Improve
That
this.
was pretty cool.
Riding time over 30 seconds for Byrd. Down to 45 seconds here in the match.
Drop down one.
Nice quickness. Start back in. Didn't
They're
give
up.
it up.
Great mat
Improve
awareness,
here.
knows exactly where he's at on the edge. You heard the drop down count before. Byrd works up.
Back here. You good, Michael?
And that's just veteran savvy
there?
right there.
Your tactics right there. One of the things that happens, and you say that, okay, you got experience in the college wrestling room for 5-6 years, whatever. You learn how to go ahead and score when those windows are tight. There's not big windows that you see.
Drop
but
down,
you
one,
also do little things
two.
like that to stay in the top position, to maybe make the guy break. And that's just Byrd's experience, and also a lot of strength right there. He's exerting.
His hips and his back. And you talk about back strength a lot, Jim.
Yeah, his guys, one of the reasons why it's happening, look how tight that left arm is around the waist.
on this.
See him working his hand all the way around the rib cage like that, into that, almost into the far hip.
And Shane, talk about getting the top of the podium. You got to do things like what he just did there.
Lucas Byrd with the riding time point, 3-0 as he edges closer to his 100th career win. It's career win number 83 on this Friday in Indianapolis. Is in the corner. Thanks to Indiana head coach Angelo Escobedo. Next chapter, 197 pounds. Zach Braunagel for Illinois. Gabe Sollars for the Hoosiers. Braunagel 6-2. Sollars, a redshirt sophomore, second year as a starter, 5-2. 3-1 in dual meets off a fifth-place finish at the Navy Classic. Sollars from Evansville, Indiana, Mater Dei High School. Two-time state champion, was a Fargo All-American in Greco. Mater Dei, the alma mater of two-time national champion Nick Lee, now an assistant coach at Penn State under Cale Sanderson. And you look at Braunagle's resume, Tim, four-time national qualifier, coming off an Olympic red shirts. He's had a really solid run in Champaign.
Yeah, he's a guy that he's better when he makes his opponent wrestle, and so this is playing into Braunagel right here by the shot by Sollars.
How was it, Jim? You look good down there.
Well, kind of a natural.
You miss coaching?
I miss practice. You know, I just miss, you know, we need anybody that says that they don't miss that who's been out of it for a while. That's the
really good execution by Sollars there, getting in there and then keeping his position, getting up to his feet and driving through, catching the second leg of Braunagel for the two on the edge.
I got to say something right here, but yeah, here, take a look at our replay here. Nice finish from on the outside of the leg right there. He comes to the collar and just sweeps him back right there and then collects it as Braunagel tries to get to his ankles. But how about our new graphics here?
They look great.
It's just fantastic, isn't it? Yeah. There's a takedown.
New score bug?
Yeah, I bet.
Sollars with the first takedown. Sollars last season, 20-14, 14 bonus point victories, 12 pins. Tim, you did that dual meet with Indiana and Michigan States. He had a big win in that Hoosier comeback.
That was a huge comeback all the way, and they just built off each other, and Sollars had a lot to do with that.
Improve on it.
Sollars ranked 28th in the country. Really good starts. Takedown, riding time over 40 seconds. He's got Braunagel flat, center of the mat. You see that wrist?
Yeah, it shortens the match. It, you know, sucks the energy out of Braunagel.
Well, you really have to put on, you know, right now you don't see it as much right there, but you really work your hamstrings and lower back, and you're trying to put that pressure on the guy. You can tell, look how high that knee is elevated above the mat right there. It tells you he knows what he's doing in that position.
Riding time over a minute. Good first period here for Gabe Sollars. You said it, Tim. Takes a lot out of you in that bottom position.
But here's, well, what is he going to migrate to off that position? He got out of the leg. Okay, so Braunagel working up here in that stand-up area is able to cover the fingers. Does he chase him down? No, Braunagle's able to get away. When you cover the fingers like that, just get your feet moving. Get your feet moving, and then you'll know which way to turn.
2023, Braunagel, the final ex-champ. He was a world team member in Greco. A lot of Greco accolades to his name. 2018 at Junior Greco National Champ. 2019 Junior World Team member.
Short time, let's work.
Final 10 seconds. And now Braunagel with an opportunity on a single leg.
Great activity.
And he gets the takedown to take the 4-3 lead. Wow.
Doesn't do anything fancy. It's just great activity by him and then dropping into that leg.
Watch him push the head there. It gets the hamstring, and he's on the outside of the leg right there. It makes a nice, see how he rotates his upper body, all right? Rotates his upper body and then hits that little sweet little sweep. When the guy's up in the air like that, he's always going to go down.
Green, cover legal. Hold.
Boy, I tell you what, Sollars did a nice job of doing a lot of great work, but that escape just at the, you know, the last 30 seconds gave Braunagel enough time to be able to get his offense off, and now he's in trouble.
4-4, Braunagel with that front headlock.
Yeah, this is, I mean, nobody second guesses the gas tank of Braunagel, but right here, you know, I said less is more for them, less variety. Just do what you do well, and you end up like that right there. The good head snaps, the front head snaps, and then the run around.
gets the go behind, his second takedown. And Braunagel now leading at 7-4. Tough first 2 minutes, but really came by, got things going late in the first.
Yeah, both takedowns were kind of the same thing. He was able to stuff the head, get a quick angle on him right there. So, you know, pushing in, inside tie. Gets a quick angle on him and attacks the leg. So, and again, look how he's constantly fishing back into the inside. All right, he wants to be on the inside.
Center.
Now he's working on a 2-on-1. Right, look him attack the other side, the opposite side with that 2-on-1. Right there.
Don't you think this is the key to Braunagel this year, continuing to threaten an entire match? He's threatening all the time.
Yeah, and you saw that
Watch this
attempt
here,
right there was a post. Like, you know, you put your thumb and forefinger underneath the guy's elbow. Well, when do you do that? Well, the guy's reaching on you. Well, he's reaching because of the self-defense against the heavy collars that you've been able to present early in the match.
Sollars able to roll him through.
It should be a neutral danger call.
Kind of a Winn-Dixie type thing.
He's out. He came out. Now 3.
The challenge break comes in from the Illinois corner as 3 is awarded to Sollars.
Nice job at the end of the period by Sollars.
I'm not so sure the officials see the brick.
The brick is on the mats.
Great hustle by Sollars to not let him go.
I think you're right. I think they are just noticing the brick.
Yeah. So they were having a little discussion. I think now Coach Poeta's making his point. But so right here, again, we're looking at the beginning of this is with neutral danger, okay? Who's really in it, okay? Now it's clear that Braunagel.
He's challenging illegal head scissors.
Well, we can't see it. I didn't see it until we lost.
Well, yeah, I think that's just clearly a takedown.
Yep, and I would say either way. I think he had the 3 counts for the neutral danger.
Neutral danger is 90 degrees.
Yeah, I could see we'd be confused with it because it looks like the ankles are crossed from that angle where the Illinois coaching staff was, but he's just pinching right there. There's no leverage with the ankles. Yeah, but you know that's the problem with the big brick, Shane. You know it's too much. You know, it's not aerodynamic.
Too much foam,
right? Too much foam. You can't really get to the middle of the mat. You really got to build up your arm strength. Yeah.
But I would say this: if I'm Mike Poeta, I'm throwing that brick out center of the mat. We've seen that over the years a couple of times where coaches toss that brick out not far enough.
Yeah. But it's not aerodynamic. Yeah. I think this is something that they pulled off of the fun house of the Fan Fest somewhere, right? Yeah, right. The bouncy pit, whatever.
So they continue to review this.
Let's talk to the brick, right?
I don't see anything changes.
No.
That was good hustle all the way around by Sollars.
We saw Braunagel do it in the first period, Sollars in the second period. This match going back and forth as it stands right now, 8-7 for the Hoosier. Another glance.
Okay. Clearly puts him in danger in that position. He's just pinching with his knees. He's not doing anything locking the ankles up, right? So there's I don't believe there's any leverage there used in that situation. And right there, that Braunagel hands in there. Now he goes to the go behind, and it looks like a clear takedown. You see the right hand of Jerron Quincy right there. He's got a little roller ball right there that they're slowly moving through each frame. So he's going forward and backward on the little roller ball to get the best look of it.
And one thing with this challenge, it's been a couple of minutes, so Sollars and Braunagel a chance to collect themselves and take a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
After review, the call on the mat stands. There was no illegal head scissor. The takedown counts.
No illegal head scissors. The call stands.
Yeah, from the angle that Coach Poeta was looking at it, it may have looked like, the ankles were crossed and maybe he's using leverage, because I was surprised how long he kept him down there just with the pinch of the knees.
Right.
Neutral.
No, he did a great job.
We're neutral.
So
Third
here we
period
go,
guys.
neutral in this third period. Sollars does have the riding time at 1:16.
So we've seen here where Braunagel, who's got to be the aggressor in this situation, has been able to stuff the head with that right-hand collar, and then he pursue it right there with the shot.
Does a really nice job of getting that look, doesn't he, for the ankle?
but the action right here has got to...
Same situation, guys. Rolls him through once again.
Good recognition by Braunagel there.
Yeah, but he came up through the middle right there, and that was a good job by him of getting out of that. Now he's given up the position one more time.
Advantage here for Sollars on a single leg.
Good job of getting elbow deep on that ankle right there. He's on the inside of the leg. Look for him to club with the right hand, all right, and take him back to the left, all right? He's got to take him back to the left. He's not...
If you're Sollars, you want to bring him back center of the mat. Give yourself some space.
Right, but I misspoke there. He's on the outside of the leg. And notice how tough it is to finish from the outside of the leg when you got a guy that's got good balance, and they're going to go off the mat right there. But they really weren't off the mat.
No.
The Illinois staff was really up in arms right there because...
But they don't have a challenge.
But I think they have good reason to be upset because they weren't off the mat. Good call, Jim, because Braunagel did a great job of recovering and coming around there.
Yeah. We've seen this a couple times, guys, that get out in that hurdler stretch and keeping good balance right there, and they nice job of staying out of that single, but head pressure right there. Look for Braunagel to try to stuff the head one more time, all right, and really run to his left.
Braunagel will need a takedown to win it. Single leg near the edge.
Yeah, nice dump.
And he gets the three with 20 seconds left.
How many times do we see this with Zach Braunagel right at the end, winning because he's got a gas tank and he keeps great position. The fundamentals are there. Nice job on that takedown.
This one was probably even more impressive because they had a 2-3 minute break right there.
Yes,
they did it technically.
Great execution late in the first, and he matches that late in this third period. Good return there from Braunagel. A comeback victory for Zach Braunagel. 10-8 the final score.
Challenge.
Braunagel over Sollars as the challenge brick comes in from the Indiana corner.
Yeah, they're challenging locked hands. Indiana felt like they saw Braunagel lock his hands on that mat return before.
Well, where this becomes very interesting, guys, is let's say they call it locked hands. It would be a point to Sollars, and then Sollars might still have that riding time point.
Yes.
Yeah,
and then we're going to sudden victory
That's right.
if that plays out.
Yes, good catch.
Every second matters.
Well, he gets the riding time point, but he'd still be in the down position here. So right there, yeah, I think there's locked hands right there. No question.
And it was before he got up, I think.
It was 1:10 on the riding time clock there anyway. So that would stop going back down.
So Indiana challenging. So this match has had a couple of challenges.
Both wrestlers done a nice job of coming back from getting down. Staying in it, tough match.
Tell you what I love seeing is the 18 points on the scoreboard.
Exhausting that scoreboard.
Exactly.
Right?
When you get on that center line, you want that scoreboard to go, not this guy again. I hate being the scoreboard for this guy.
I just wish the head lever would have come up. It would have been 2-1.
I didn't bring it up.
I know, but yeah.
Our producer, Jeff Sermon, I thought if I go back to the coffee grinder, I'll hear Jeff going, oh, not again. Yeah. Jeff knows and Jim knows it's a coffee grinder. Here's the call.
After review, the call on the mat's confirmed. The hold is released within reaction time. There's no locked hands.
Okay. That's it.
10-8. That final score stands. And a big win for Zach Braunagel. 3 more for the fight with the Hoosiers. With Connor Onion and Sean Morris, that to follow this dual meet. Final match at heavyweights. Luke Luffman and Jacob Bullock, a ranked matchup here at heavyweight. Both guys off to a really good start.
Yeah, Luke Luffman coming off an injury last year, and his body's good. Bullock coming off a red shirt. He's ready to go. Always close. Luffman's had his number a couple of times in previous meetings.
Their last dual meet was February of 2022. That's the last time these two teams have dueled. That was a 5-4 decision for Luffman, the 6th year out of Urbana, Illinois. Luffman, a 3-time national qualifier. For Bullock, took his red shirt last season. An NCAA qualifier in 2023. His best season in Bloomington, winning 20 matches. And these guys have a history, Tim, back in high school.
Yeah, the state championship match with Luffman winning one of 2 state championships for Urbana High School.
Illinois making it 10 straight dual meet victories over the Hoosiers with the win today.
Webster.
Luffman 7-1 start, 5-0 in dual meets. Big win over Colton Schultz of Arizona State. Schultz, NCAA finalist in 2022, falling to Gable Steveson. Of course, big news. Gable Steveson back for Minnesota.
Yeah, it's an early, Gable Steveson could probably taken a lot of different offers at different places, and he went back to, Minnesota, where he's had so many good training experiences there with that staff, and that team was much improved. The Gophers did a great job here in retooling, and they were gutted there for a while for the last couple of years, and now they get their big man back here, and he's going to be fun to watch. And of course, I think that's just a great weight class this year. There's several of them here, but with all these guys that have extended their careers, age-wise. Ooh, nice shot there by Bullock.
Snatch single here for Bullock. Good balance there from Luffman. Able to fight off a couple of trip attempts. Now Bullock's going to create some space, drag him back.
How many times have we seen this position today, right? One guy up on his leg like this and pushing the other guy away.
Legal with the hand.
You can't get close or don't finish real quickly. It's just you end up in this position. You can exhaust the guy bouncing on one leg, but...
Well, you bring up a good point, Jim, because we've seen this position, but we haven't seen too many finishes in this position.
Yeah, there's one right there.
That's true.
Right there. I like that finish there. He basically came out and tripped the leg forward. He didn't try to go backwards.
Green one escape.
In a match like this, that's a really important takedown for Bullock right there. He just needs to keep this up the whole time. Whoever fights hardest for their positions, that's what Luffman's doing right there. He's got to fight to get that underhook, fight to get his ties.
He's got the lock right there. Are we going big time here? Bullock's got that headgear in his eyes. It's really disturbing while you're out there and you're getting locked up at the same time. Good job of keeping his concentration.
30 seconds first period. Here's Luffman, front headlock position.
Work here, man.
Sometimes you just want to ditch it here, right? You're just not going to be able to take the guy down. And kind of bad things get.
Action got us there. Center here.
You can go, susceptible to go behinds if you're trying to push him off the mat. It's like, Bullock did a nice job on the edge.
Collar tie off the whistle from Luffman.
Yeah,
Bullock, the first period takedown, will take a 3-1 lead to the second period.
Second period. Says bottom.
That's a good first period for Bullock there, getting in there. I thought that Luffman started a little slow, wasn't fighting very hard for his positions. Bullock dropped in, got that single, and finished it. That's big, 3 points.
Bullock is working hard right now. See that picture of him in his singlet there on his knees there. He's breathing hard.
One
Look
great
for him
escape.
to pick up the pace, working that right hand underhook.
Out of the grip.
A 1-point match. Luffman, a pair of escapes.
Out of the grip.
Luffman wants to get close, and that's what you got to fight for. He wants to get in there, get close, get his ties, which are, 2-on-1s, underhooks. But that takes a lot of fight to get in that close on a big guy like Bullock.
mentioned Luffman beating Colton Schultz, his only loss to Owen Treppen of NC State. That was 4-1 in sudden victory. Luffman's looking to get on the stand. He'll be in the mix. He's another one of those guys, Jim.
Yeah.
That's on a Thursday night. It's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, he's 9 to 11.
Offense, man, let's work here.
Ranked 9 to 11 all around the country as far as the rankings go. And you can see why. He just likes to, he can drive forward. That takedown may have been a bit of an anomaly, but can you be the type of guy that ends up, coming back?
Good, yeah, good movement by both. Luffman was trying to find that angle because he's got to find the angle, can't shoot straight in. But good footwork by Bullock there to come out.
The other thing, Bullock is giving the shot there, but he's doing a nice job of squaring out.
Ashton took us out.
Heavy hips there from Bullock, crashing down.
But you notice what he did there, Shane? He didn't try to kick away. He basically just kind of kicked in a circle here so he could go ahead and square the hips.
You talk about it often, Jim, when you are on the edge, do not flee, but either drop your hips or attack, but don't play defense.
The way I try to say it is counter like you're in the middle of the mat, right? Use the same techniques that would work in the middle. Don't look at that line. Seen a lot of great wrestlers over the year just stare at that line, and all of a sudden they bring both ankles together, try to dive off the mat, and they give up the points.
Oh, this is where Bullock has to be careful because right now Luffman's dictating the position there, and Bullock could get called for stalling.
1-point match. Outstanding wrestler, sponsored by Cliff Keen Athletic, getting the fall at 149 pounds, Cannon Webster. Checking in on basketball with Miami University and Indiana. We will head to Bloomington right after this dual meet concludes.
Good job of Bullock getting that escape. He went 2-on-1 on that free wrist right there. Was able to go and get it down and not giving up, too much riding time in that situation. Not having to work too hard in the bottom position. His feet are moving well. He's reacting what Luffman's, his snatch single attempts.
Riding time a non-factor.
Huge opportunity for the Hoosier here.
Right. Look at free shot from space. Comes out the back door.
Nice shot there from Luffman. Drives through and gets the takedown, and he's got Bullock on his back, and he gets the pin.
Now that's shutting the door, Shane. That's shutting the door. That's what they're looking for from Luffman.
Luke Luffman trailing in this third period. Didn't just settle for the takedown, he gets the stick. And the 6 for Illinois.
You could